Alright guys, so in this video we're going to go ahead and show you how to replace your male plug end on your pinball and arcade machines that has a broken ground pin, or just any kind of pin broken off, with a newer one. Now this is just a standard male plug adapter that you can get from any hardware store. You can also order these online and stuff. I like to get these ones because they're just big, bulky, and they're easier to handle. But the very first thing we have to do before any of this is we need to cut the old one off. I just got a pair of shears here. There's a few different types of cutters and shears you can use, just whatever pretty much works. Just go ahead. Get it as close to the end here as you can. Okay, so you save as much of the cable as possible. And just cut it right off. So we'll trim up some of this here. Okay. Alright. Now, sometimes, as you can see in here, you can kind of see the wires laying out. Really hard to see, I know, I'm sorry. The cord's way shorter than I was hoping it to be. But you can, if you're careful enough, you could take a razor blade and just slice in between two wires, peel back this insulation and trim it off. But you do run the risk of damaging the wires if you're not careful. You can also damage them using your stripper too. They do make wire strippers that have a heavy enough gauge to take this off. I don't own them. So what I have to do is take my other type, put it on the max setting, and very carefully go around. Alright? You don't need too much stripped out. You can get away with about 3/4 of an inch to an inch. Something like that. I'm going to go about 1.25 inches roughly. Just score around it using very light pressure. From here I can pop this bad boy off. Just like so. Alright. Now from here, all these little strands, I'm going to cut them off. There's a name and a reason for these. I can't remember it though offhand. If somebody remembers, just add it in the comments below. Just makes it easier to work with when you get them all taken off. Alright. Now, as you can see, you got 3 different wires here. You have a green wire, a white wire, and a black wire. Now, your black wire is your hot wire, your white wire is your neutral, and your green is your field ground or earth ground. Alright? So we're going to want to strip these out in just a second actually. We're going to take our plug and we'll pull this bad boy apart, and we're going to run our cable, our wires, right through the back here. It's easier to do before you strip the wires out. It just takes a little bit of patience to get all 3 wires to pop through that hole. It's tight, which it needs to be. Almost got it. There we go. Alright. Alright, so we got them through. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to strip the wires. Nope, I got it. It'd help if I reset my stripper here for this. So I got that one. That one. And this one. Alright, so from here, go ahead, twist each of these wires so they're nice and strong. Not frayed all over. Give them a slight little curve. You can use pliers to do it, fingertips, whichever. Doesn't really matter. Okay. Now, when you look at your plug, this is your left pin, this is your right pin, and there's your ground pin. So your green wire is going to go to the ground pin. You can see the screw is green. Now, I like to wire these up the way your outlet is, and your outlet's left pin will be your neutral pin. So your white wire should go on the left pin, and your hot wire should go on your right pin. Honestly, if you do make a mistake and put the black and white in the wrong spot, it's not the end of the world. It'll still work just fine. I just like to keep it more appropriate and set up the way your electrical box is set up. I'm just prepping these screws here. Alright. Now, I always like to get the ground in first. It's just something I've always liked to do. Alright, so scoot that ground in there behind there. And tighten that down real tight, nice and tight. You don't want that to move at all. Now another key thing to remember, put your wire into the screw so that your little curved piece is going in the direction that the screw is actually being, well, screwed down on. So I have to redo this white one quick. There we go. Okay. And the reason for that is because if you go the other way, then the pressure of the screws turning could actually force the wire out of the holder. And you want it to be forced more into the holder. And get our hot hooked up. Okay. And try not to push the insulation beyond this little metal plate in that holder, because otherwise you're not getting the full contact of the wire like you should be getting. Alright, so now that's set up. We'll go ahead and we'll pull this through and get these all lined up. Alright, get 3 screws lined up there, just like so, and then we'll tighten these down. I always get them started first, just like anything else. Alright, now we can tighten them all down. Alrighty, now on the bottom side, towards the back, we'll tighten these screws down. This clamp's going to hold that wire in place. So if somebody goes and pulls this out of the outlet, and instead of grabbing it by the plug like you're supposed to, and they grab it by the wire, it's a lot harder for the wires to break on the inside, come loose, or any of that, because that could be disastrous. And of course, tighten it down nice and tight. You want to make sure that thing ain't going anywhere. Alright, there we go. So that, right there, is how you replace your old, busted up plug end with a brand new one. Pretty easy, anybody really can do it. So, thanks for watching guys, and we'll see you on the next video. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you later.